Okay, good morning. Action's about ready to open here in 4 minutes. I start each morning looking at the daily chart. Even if I enter a trade off of the 1-minute chart, I want to know where I am relative to the daily chart. And here you can see we're at an area that's quite relevant because it's at the higher ends of this trend line here. So am I going to want to take longs up here? I'm going to be very leery about taking longs. Am I going to be more inclined to want to go short? Perhaps, probably. Action's been strong the last couple of days though, but this does look like an opportunity for an area where I could take a short. This is a daily chart, so that's good. Then we look at the hourly chart. We have something different going on. You can see we've had on the hourly chart a big breakout of the swing high going back to January 10th. Action has come up strong and now is rolling over, but rolling over slowly. And what's important to be aware of is that there's a trend line right below me. So although I'm inclined to want to go short today, I want to have to be very careful of this. I don't want to be shorting on this trend line here on the hourly chart. There's 3 touches on there, so that's an established trend line. So that's something to be cautious of. Now, I also may want to, if price were to come back up into this area here, up to test these highs, that would be another area to short. So I'd like to take a short up here. I'd like to see action break through this area down here, but I don't want to take a short right on this trend line. So I'm going to be aware of that, where I am. Even though I'm looking at smaller charts, a 15-minute, 5-minute, 3-minute, 1-minute, I might be looking at these smaller charts, but I'm also glancing over on my other screen to make sure I know where I am relative to that hourly chart. That trend line on the hourly chart is very important. So action's going to pop here in just a moment. Just about ready to open. And I am going to take a look too at the 60-minute chart here on the ES. So on the ES we have a similar situation. We have the major breakout of the swing high going back to January 10th, and we have a similar situation with the trend line here too. We can see it isn't as clear, but we've got that. So once again on the ES, S&P 500 futures, I want to make sure that I don't short right on this trend line. If action is coming down hard and it's getting close to that trend line, it's going to probably gravitate towards that trend line. If you follow my videos, I often take those trades. Maybe it's 20 points above that trend line and action is accelerating down, strong bearish action. I'll jump in because it's almost always at that point going to gravitate towards touching that trend line and testing it. So market is open now. So another thing I want to do here is I want to take a look at the news, financial news. There's plenty of places that you can go to get the economic reports that are coming out for the day. If you're trading FX, there's those websites that are especially designed for that. But in terms of what I use, I'm usually going to FinViz, and this is FinViz's homepage. It's free, and here's the economic reports that were being released today, and we can see the actual results. I don't really care so much about what the results are. I just want to know that there's not any significant economic report that's about to be released today, that I don't want to trade in front of a report that's going to be coming out. So I don't have to worry about that. Now let's see. Here's the 15-minute chart, and you can see the trend line that I drew in on the hourly chart. We can see it here on the 15-minute chart also. On the 5-minute chart, what do we got going on here? There's our trend line on the 5-minute chart also. So action's going to probably come down and test that trend line. So I would be looking for a short here. You'll hear my trading platform go off when I enter and as I exit trades. But when I'm doing this live, I'm going to have to figure out a way to turn that off also.
Order filled.
Okay, I'm short at 318.
Order filled.
Took 3
Order
points.
filled. Order filled.
5 points. See it gravitating towards that trend line?
Order filled.
7 points. See that? Very nice. 9 points.
Order submitted. Order
Close.
filled.
Whew, very nice. See that? Really nice. That's just a really nice trade. And that's my day. That was a big trade because I traded a lot of contracts. So I'll go through why I took that trade. And it's probably going to come down more and touch us. And I'll go through my exits. So backing me up, we had the daily chart. What did I say on that daily chart? You know, we're up here at these highs. Okay, so what's the bias for the day? I think it's really important to have a bias, if you can find one for the day, for market direction. Now, this year that's been difficult to determine, but typically it's not. So when you have price way up here, you could be, it gives you clarity on that daily chart that the bias is going to be down. Now, you could be wrong, but just common sense, you can look at that and say, okay, now what I saw here was, this is a 5-minute chart. We've got clear downward action, and we can see this trend line that I drew in also prior to the market open. I drew that in on the hourly chart, and I talked right before I placed my trade. I said, when you have a trend line like that on the hourly chart, and you can also spot it on a 5-minute chart, if action, and we had that big daily tide going with us. So the tide and the daily chart was what? It was bearish. So I had that backing me up. And then we saw action pull back away from that trend line right before the market opened. And then, so let me show you here. This is a trend line, okay? This is a spike, a channel. But anyway, this formed a trend line right there. When the trend line is broke, regardless of this bigger trend line being here, regardless if that was there or not, when a trend like this is broke, price will come down and test the beginning of that area. Well, that's exactly what happened. I saw that happening. And just like I said, right before I placed my trade, if you get strong acceleration down, headed towards, or it could be up, a significant trend line, and it's in the same direction as the overall tide of the day, in this case, we're coming off those highs on the daily chart, action it's highly likely it's going to test that trend line. That's exactly what happened. And I got out too early, like I do in all my trades, but that's all right. That works great for me. But came right to that trend line, broke right on through, and then you had buyers coming in. And you had people buying to close out their short positions, and that's why we're having that bounce. So that's going to be my morning video. I'll just go through my executions. So I shorted at 13,318.75. So I shorted up here, 318, right as action started going down hard. I knew it was going to blow right through there and it was going to come down and test here. And so I closed out positions at let's see, 316, so it took 2.75 points. 314, so it took 4.75 points. Remember, each point is worth $20. Another position closed out at 14, so that was 4.75 points. Another position closed out at 11, so that was 7.75. And then another position closed out at 1650, so 2.25 points. And at $20 a point, you know, that's it. That's what I want, you know, for my morning trade. So nice, done. I got a lot of stuff to do today, so I'm probably not going to trade further into the day today like I usually do. I'm going to shut her down and post this video. Have a great day. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want, you know, I'm going to be sending these out and doing them live. I'm going to test that out. That's going to be happening real soon. If you're interested, it's free. It's just simply a way for me to become a better trader. I'm not doing it to create a trading room. That doesn't mean that there wouldn't be a trading room one day. I mean, if I have 100 people that are loving my live videos, and you know, I know it's helping people, because I know you'll be able to spot trades, even though I won't be able to tell you when I'm entering and exiting. Just by my dialogue, you're going to be able to get a good bead on opportunities. So who knows? Maybe down the road, if people are loving it, I got all these people lined up wanting to listen each morning. That's great. But for this foreseeable future, I have no intention on charging. I just want to send them out for free as a way for me to become a better trader, because shooting these videos and shooting them like this and then posting them has been tremendous for me. It forces me to articulate everything I'm doing, and I would highly recommend that you record yourself, just like what I'm doing, if you're learning. So anyway, have a great day.